So building a six-figure following and business on Instagram is not an easy thing, and most people get caught up focusing on the tactics rather than the mindset, which is what really matters. So as someone who's actually been there, someone who's done it and is doing it right now, in this video I'm going to break down the mindset you need to go from 0 to 100,000 followers and to build a profitable business from it. Welcome back to the channel. I help people create better Instagram content so they can build an engaged community and turn their knowledge into income. Now, when it comes to growing from 0 to 100,000 followers, one of the big mistakes when it comes to your mindset is that you don't want to fail. And I get it. I've been there before. Everyone else has been there before. And we go through this process of not wanting to fail because we know that if we are seen as a failure, then maybe getting those followers, getting that engagement is going to become much harder. But ultimately, to get to our goals, to reach our dream, we have to fail. Failure is essential. And you have to understand the concept of growing through action, but not just any action, imperfect action. And what this means is that every post you make, every action you take, every conversation you have, there's a chance it could fail. And you have to become comfortable with that. But the chance of that failing is far outweighed by the things you learn. Because when you fail, you learn. And if you want to get to your goals faster, well, you have to fail faster because that's the only way to learn faster. And reality is that if you shy away from that action, then you're shying away from failure, but ultimately stopping yourself from reaching your goal. Now, the next mindset trait I want to talk about is ego. Now, look, whether you want to admit it or not, we all have an ego. And sometimes that ego can be a bad thing, sometimes it can be a good thing. But for most of us, myself included, we all have that ego where we think that we're enough. We think we're good enough and that we think that we deserve to have what we want in life. And unfortunately, the sooner you realize that you don't deserve to have what you want in life, then the sooner you will reach what you want to have in life. Because you've gotten to this point by being who you are. But to get to the next point, you have to become someone else. Now, that doesn't mean that you throw away your identity. It doesn't mean you have to do things that you necessarily don't want to do or don't believe in. But it means that there's a fundamental change in you as a person. You have to level up. Because in life, in your business, on your page on Instagram, there's levels. You're starting when you're at 0 followers, then you get to 10k, then you get to 100k, then you get to 1 million. There's different levels to this game. And at different levels, you as a person, you as a character, if you think in a game, you have to level up. And if you don't level up, then you can't reach that level. Or if you do reach that level, but you haven't leveled up, then you're not going to stay at that level very long and you're going to get knocked straight back down to where you just come from. So you have to drop your ego. You have to become comfortable with understanding that, look, who you are now is enough for where you are right now. But to get to where you want to be, you have to change because progress is impossible without change. So to go from 0 to 100,000 followers, start off by saying, right, who do I need to become? What type of person do I need to be to deserve having that many followers? Or who do I need to be to deserve having this big of a business? Once you understand the habits of those types of people, and then you start implementing those habits in your daily routines, and you live that as a person, then you'll get there. And it's just a matter of time before you get there. But, like I said, if you don't change, if you don't level up, if you stay the same, and just say to yourself that you are good enough, then it won't happen. And that second point on ego leads me into this final point, which is probably what you've heard of, which is the Dunning-Kruger effect. Now, essentially, the problem we face as people, as humans, is that when we learn something, particularly when we learn something brand new, we tend to then overestimate how much we actually know, and we think we're better than what we actually are. So when you see people on Instagram who are, just joined the platform and they have Instagram growth expert in their bio, it's because they've joined the platform, they've learned a little bit, suddenly they think they're an expert. And the reality is that when you have a lack of knowledge, ultimately you don't know what you don't know. And then what happens is that you're blinded to what you need to do to become better. What then happens is you're stuck in this little bubble of thinking that you're perfect, you think that you know everything you need to know, and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and then you question why you're not getting any results. And this is why I'm such a big believer in personal development, pushing yourself and always educating yourself every single day. Because in the Dunning-Kruger effect, there's 3 very clear stages that you're going to go through. First is that you've got little knowledge, but you overestimate your ability. So that's what I've just described. You're just starting out, you've learned a bit of information, and you think you're the best. Then there's a second stage. Now, at this second stage, you have, let's say, medium knowledge, a bit more, but you start to doubt yourself. You start to have that imposter syndrome that starts to set in, and everyone goes through this stage. Ultimately, what that feels like is that you're getting results, but you feel like you don't know why you're getting results. You feel like you don't deserve the results. Well, actually, at this stage, this is where you're beginning to learn more, and you start to realize how much you don't know. And that's the key to mastery. That's the key to education, which is not just learning new things and, mastering what you know, but it's learning what you don't know and then trying to tackle those things and become better at that. And that constant progress then leads you on to the third stage, which is when you have a very high level of competence and knowledge. And what then happens is, because you have so much knowledge, because you know what you know, you also know what you don't know, you are then much more aware of how good you really are, and you become more confident, you have more clarity, and you become much more aware of what it is you're capable of. But getting to this third and final stage does take time. So to go from 0 to 100,000 followers, or from 0 to 100,000 in terms of your business, you have to understand these 3 stages and try and diagnose where you are right now. Now, here's a very quick test, and be honest with yourself. Now, to know if you're at the first stage, ask yourself truthfully. If you say to yourself that you know everything and that you're happy with what you're doing, you're at level 1. That means that you don't know anything, but you think you know everything. For level 2, if you're at this stage, chances are you're getting results, but you feel like you don't deserve them and you're lacking self-confidence. That means you're at the second stage of the Dunning-Kruger effect. And then the third stage, if you feel like you know what it is you understand what you're good at, but you also understand your limitations and what is left to learn, then you're at the third and final stage. And it tends to be at this stage that you'll get the most growth. But the difficult part is going from stage 2 to stage 3. Now remember, stage 2 is when you have imposter syndrome. So it's when you're really starting to feel the impact of all of this learning. When you start to feel like you're not enough, and that you're struggling because you don't believe that you can learn what's left to learn. But if you can push past this point, that's when the real growth happens. From stage 2 to stage 3 on that graph, on Dunning-Kruger effect, that's where the growth really does happen, and where your page will take off, where your business will take off. And once you're at that final stage, then you just stay there and you keep learning, you keep understanding what you're good at, you keep understanding what you're not good at, and you become very aware of you as a person and what you're capable of doing. So look, let's be completely honest here. You watching this video, you can get to 100,000 followers. You can build a 6-figure business. But if you get stuck thinking about the strategy, thinking about the little steps, thinking about hashtags, thinking about growth hacks, all those other bloody things that people get stuck on, if you keep thinking about those things, then you won't get there. The reality is, we all know what it takes to get to that stage. Okay, we all have that overall idea on the things we need to be doing. But what sets people that get there apart from those who don't is mindset. And it's as simple as that. If you can have the mindset to get to that point, the mindset to keep learning, the mindset to question yourself, the mindset to accept that where you are now isn't enough, the mindset to accept you need to invest in yourself, to invest in your knowledge and your skills, then you can get there. But if you don't have that mindset, then you just won't get there. And that's the reality. So look, I hope you enjoyed this very quick sort of mindset shift video today. I'm pretty sure I'll do a few more of these mindset style videos in the future. But look, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. What was your favorite point? Or tell me, what's your biggest mindset block when it comes to growing from 0 to 100,000 followers or building your business? What do you think is holding you back? Drop it down in the comments below and I'll see if I can help. But look, if you want the more actionable, if you want the strategy, if you want the step-by-step guide to 0 to 100,000 followers, check out this video here. That's got literally every single thing you need to get to that point. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.